All right. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to do some scripture reading along with commentary. We're in the book of Genesis. Let's continue Genesis 27. Isaac blesses Jacob. Verse 1. Now it came to pass when Isaac was old and his eyes were so dim that he could not see that he called Esau his older brother and said to him, "My son." And he answered him, "Here I am." Then he said, "Behold, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now therefore please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and get out to the field and hunt game for me. And make me savory food, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt game to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, "Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, 'Bring me game and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death.' Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock and bring me there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it, and that he may bless you before his death." And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "Look, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing." But his mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go, get them for me." And he sent and got them, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory food such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats on his hands, and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the savory food and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am." "Who are you, my son?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done just as you told me. Please arise, sit and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Because the Lord your God brought it to me." Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near, that I may feel you, my son, whether you are really my son Esau or not." So Jacob went near to Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. Then he said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He said, "I am." He said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's game, so that my soul may bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come near and kiss me, my son." And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his clothing, and blessed him, and said, "Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore may God give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you." Okay, we're going to read commentary here, verses 1 through 29 of chapter 27. Commentary is coming from the Tony Evans Bible Commentary. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. As Isaac grew older and anticipated his death, he decided to impart his blessing to Esau. Jacob may have already stolen the birthright, the physical inheritance, but Esau still had the chance to inherit his father's blessing. The more important spiritual inheritance, the blessing represented the umbrella of God's operation in the family line, so that no matter what showers and storms are going on around them, they were under cover. Isaac began the ritual of passing on his blessing by calling his older son Esau. to him and requesting a delicious meal, so that he could bless him before he died. Isaac preferred Esau's wild game and wanted him to hunt for an animal that could share during his sacred time. Esau went, verse 5 through 17. Esau went to the field to hunt some game, but as his father had ordered. But his mother Rebekah had other plans. Calling in Jacob, she hatched a plot. Jacob would go to the flock, pick out two young goats, and mom would make them into a delicious meal for Isaac. Then Isaac, whose eyes were so weak that he could not see, would be deceived and bless Jacob rather than Esau. When Jacob objected, Esau is a hairy man, but I am a man with smooth skin, his mother revealed the rest of her plan. She would take the skins of the young goats and put them on Jacob's hand and the smooth part of his neck. Evidently, Esau was so hairy that the feel and odor of a dead goat was a sufficient disguise. When Jacob approached his father Isaac, the ruse almost didn't work because of Jacob's unique voice. But when Jacob came closer, the hairy hands and neck did the trick. All the while, Jacob was lying, adopting the name of Esau. 3 times, in fact, Isaac asked Jacob if he was really Esau, and without a hesitation, Jacob, the deceiver, assured him. Worst of all, Jacob even used God's name in vain, explaining that he was able to find the goat so quickly because the Lord your God made it happen. Verse 26 to 27. The transfer of blessing always included meaningful touch, which is why Isaac implored Jacob to come closer and kiss him. Touch symbolized identification and intimacy. Verse 28, Isaac passed on his most valuable possession, the blessing he had received from his father Abraham, to Jacob. May God give to you from the dew of the sky and from the riches of the land an abundance of grain and new wine. In other words, heaven is going to rain down everything you need to get the promises of God fulfilled, son. The agricultural metaphor is a vivid one. It doesn't matter how hard you work on the land if God doesn't send the rain. Far too many of us are working hard to make something of our lives without the blessing that can only come raining down from heaven. We don't need to work harder. We need to put ourselves in a position to receive God's blessing. Isaac repeated the classic covenant that he had received from his father. Those who curse you will be cursed, and those who bless you will be blessed. The center of God's blessings would now rest on Jacob, as deceptive as he was, but Isaac actually goes back further than Abraham, to Adam, and in saying, may peoples serve you and nations bow in homage to you. Isaac was recalling the original kingdom authority given to Adam and Eve. With the blessing comes the responsibility to use our God-given authority, skills, talents, gifts, and opportunities in whatever garden he has placed us, to lead in a way that honors God. Let's continue reading scripture. Verse 30, Genesis 27. Esau's lost hope. Now it happened, as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also had made savory food and brought it to his father, and said to his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's game, that your soul may be blessed. And his father Isaac said to him, who are you? So he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. Then Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, who? Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, bless me, me also, O my father. But he said, your brother came with deceit and has taken away your blessing. And Esau said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now, look, he has taken away my blessing. And he said, have you not reserved a blessing for me? Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, indeed I have made him your master, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants, with grain and wine. I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven from above. For by your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. That you shall break his yoke from your neck. So we're going to read commentary here, verses 30 through 40. So the plot thickens because just as Jacob had left the presence of his father Isaac, his brother Esau arrived from his hunting. By the time Isaac has realized what happened, the blessing cannot be revoked. Esau's response is simultaneously pitiful and tragic. He cried out with a loud and bitter cry, probably loud enough for Jacob, who wasn't far off, to overhear. This was a gut wrenching wail from a man who realized that his entire future had been snatched out of his hands. Esau's insistence on receiving some blessing from his father mirrors the heart cry of so many in our society. Bless me, too, my father. Esau shouted with increasing desperation. How many young people today, whether they know how to articulate it or not, are crying out for their fathers simply to speak a simple word of blessing into their lives? In the end, Esau received a word from his father, but it was far from a blessing. Rather than receiving from the dew of the sky and from the richness of the land, Esau was told that his dwelling place would be away from the richness of the land and away from the dew of the sky. No wonder, then, that Esau held a grudge against Jacob, plotting to kill him. Okay, let's continue on reading scripture. Verse 41, Genesis 27. Jacob escapes from Esau. So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said to him, surely your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you by intending to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what good will my life be to me? We're going to read the commentary here from verses 41 through 46. So Jacob's mother Rebekah, the eavesdropper, found out about Esau's murderous intent in time to hatch another plot. Jacob would flee at once to Rebekah's brother Laban in Haran, hiding out there until Esau's rage could cool. As a positive side effect of this plan, she reasoned, Jacob would also be more inclined to marry someone within their clan, rather than the Hittite girls that had been making Rebekah's life so miserable. And that concludes Genesis 27. Stay tuned for Genesis 28.